Okay, I am so sorry. How about now? Okay, I realized that I didn't turn on the audio. Let me introduce myself again to you all. Thank you very much for hanging in there with me, and thank you for communicating in the chat. I would have done this whole live without any volume. So thank you, thank you. So let me start over with my introduction. I am Dr. Geraldine Calhoun, and I am so glad you're here with me today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Whether you're on the beach, at a park, reading a book, sitting at your desk, thank you for squeezing me into your schedule. To get to know a little bit about me, the author who wrote many of those books that you have sitting on your shelf now, and some of the books that you have provided to children in your personal space. And for that, I also want to say thank you. You know, I've been looking forward to this moment all week long. Actually, all month long, I've been thinking about this. And every time I think about it, it helped me to feel like I'm getting ready to sit down on the couch and have a real conversation with you all. Whether you're an educator, a parent, a fellow storyteller, or someone looking for a spark of hope, this space is for you. This is the first episode in my 6-part YouTube live series titled From Misread to Doctorate, my journey to teach kids how to rise. Over the next 6 episodes, I'll walk you through the real chapters of my life, not just the polished, pretty moments, but the hard ones too. You'll hear the moments that broke me, the people who lifted me, and the reason I now spend my life helping kids rise. Before we dive in, I'd love to know in the chat, are you a parent, a teacher, an auntie, abuela, abuelo, or maybe someone who lived through learning challenges yourself? Drop it in the comments so I'll know who I'm talking to tonight. Don't be shy. We're all gonna have this couch moment today. This, for some of you, might be your first breakthrough for sharing a moment like this. It is for me. Well, to understand my why, you have to know what I was carrying. And trust me, this part of my story still stirs something in me every time I share it. As a child, I didn't just carry a backpack. I carried grief, confusion, and fear. When we had to quickly leave our home because the living conditions weren't conducive, my mom made a decision that still sits heavy with me. She asked a friend to hold all of our personal belongings, baby pictures, birthday gifts, the books she read to us at bedtime, because we didn't have a place to keep them. So she trusted this person. And here's the part that's hard to talk about. I never saw those things again. It felt like pieces of my childhood had just vanished. We moved in with my grandmother in her 1-bedroom apartment, then to my aunt's house, then to several motels before we finally got a home again. And that home again wasn't just about getting a roof over our heads. It marked a new chapter for me because it happened to be the very same year I stepped into 4th grade. Stepping into 4th grade carrying all of those unseen weights along with my school supplies. Every time I walked into a new school, I brought more than notebooks and pencils. I brought a broken routine, a fractured sense of safety, and a silence I didn't know how to explain. Let me pause here. How many of you, as educators, parents, aunts, uncles, anyone who has impact or influenced a child's life, have seen a child walk in with something? You can't quite put your finger on it, but you know it's there. Type yes in the chat. Maybe that kid is something that, there's something going on with the kid, but you can't quite put your finger on it. You know that kid is going through some type of emotion, but you're not sure. Type yes in the chat. We've all seen it. That kid that walks in with the blank look or the fake smile, and then they run in and grab a hug from you. Type yes in the chat. Now, my parents loved us deeply. My mom, forever with a book in her hand, she wrapped us in stories every night so we would know we mattered. She affirmed us, she loved on us, she kissed us. Even though we were going through all of those things, love wasn't something that we yearned for because we always had it. My dad went to the dollar store, and you all know about those dollar stores, and bought every early reader he could find, determined to help me learn. Even though he didn't live with us full time, he found his own way to pour into me. They did everything they could, but they couldn't be my full-time teacher, while also trying to hold the whole world together for our family. And this is why I speak. This is why I teach. Because when a child walks into a classroom, we often see the backpack, but not the baggage. And we must learn to see the invisible loads. All right. I know that was a little heavy. Let's take a deep breath together because we're about to travel down another lane. I'm about to share another part that makes my stomach kind of flip every time I share this part of the story. Every time I say it out loud, my stomach kind of does a little turn. This isn't just a fact from my past. It's a confession. A confession I carry for years, all the way to the 4th grade. I held on to this one secret. Even when writing the books, and every time someone asked me about why did I write the books and why did I choose the characters that I chose, I never shared this. So today is the day. The secret that I carried all the way to 4th grade. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. I could not read. Yes, I know you're shocked. I know you're surprised. Yep, that was me. I was not able to read a word. I mean, even to the fact of spelling out my name. And y'all, my name is Geraldine, so the name tag was serious. Can you imagine hiding something like that? I did, and I got pretty good at it too. My cheating game was tight. I was strong at copying classmates, memorizing sight words, and Lord knows that was a praying year. I prayed I wouldn't get called on to read out loud. So you know my prayer game was tight too. But here's the thing. It wasn't the words that I feared. It was being found out. By the time I reached our forever home in that 4th grade classroom, I had moved so much I lost count. Every fresh start came with the same old secret. I couldn't read. I became an expert at blending in, looking busy, smiling so no one would suspect. I was labeled, misplaced, and misunderstood. And now, as a teacher, as an educator, as a mentor, as a coach, as a leader, I see how easy it is for kids like me to slip through the cracks, especially if they're quiet, and especially if they have a helper or someone at home who's doing their work to cover for them. How about you? In the chat, have you ever had a student surprise you when you finally realized what they were struggling with? Let me know. Put it in the chat. Typing, I know I got you guys typing away, but we're sharing, we're sitting on the couch, we're having this conversation, and I love being able to communicate with you guys. It's not just me sharing my story, it's us sharing our stories. Well, for years, I wondered, how did no one notice? How did I make it to the 4th grade without someone catching on? The truth is, I wasn't behind in potential. I was behind in opportunity. I was surviving more than learning, and survival takes a toll. It cost me my confidence, my voice, and my belief that I belonged in a classroom. So if you're watching this right now and you have a student who's fallen behind, don't just look at the grades. Look beyond that, look deeper. Behind every behavior is a story. Behind every quiet child is a voice waiting to be heard. You are not just broken. Struggling doesn't make you weak. And needing more time, more trust, or more support doesn't make you less than. Just those simple affirmations help our kids rise. My story isn't just my past. It's happening to kids right now, in classrooms all over the world. That's why I do this work. That's why I tell these stories, because the little girl who couldn't read, she grew up. She found her voice, and now she helps others find theirs. If something I've shared tonight has stirred something in you, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment if you've ever been misunderstood, mislabeled, or overlooked. And yes, I actually read those comments. You might just hear your story reflected in a future episode. Now, I will not call your name out, but I would love to share your story to help others. Don't forget to subscribe, because we are just getting started. This is a movement, and your story matters here. Next week, episode 2. We're going to talk about the teacher who changed everything. She didn't have a magic wand. She didn't stay after school with me day after day. But what she did do was see me. And that moment of being seen sparked my breakthrough. So meet me here the same time next week. Until then, keep rising.